Greetings. I'm Marina Ormes here with your Astro vibe for Saturday, December 24th. We had a new moon yesterday, and today the moon is in Capricorn. So we actually have 5 planets in Capricorn, including the moon, the sun, Mercury, Venus, and good old Pluto. So we've got a lot of Capricorn energy. We're just still in this vibe of the new moon, the dark moon, the mystery time, and of course it's the eve of a certain Christian holiday that was co-opted from the pagans, as things are, and as things move in history, and you can never escape the past. And that is one of the things that Capricorn energy reminds us. And it reminds us of that connection to the past. And so with the Capricorn moon cycle, that began yesterday, and we're just in the beginning of, with having 5 planets currently in Capricorn, with the Capricorn season that we're in, we really are focused on this energy of connecting to our roots, our history, tradition, where do we come from, what are the foundations of who we are and how we have come to be where we are. So Capricorn energy is conservative, right? It can be about looking back to, pining for the good old days. I wish things were the way they used to be back in whenever, and make things great again. Some of those kinds of slogans that are really based in this idea that things were better before some changes happened, and back when things had this mythological feeling of peace and harmony and goodness and greatness, which of course back in those whenever it was we're pining for, things were never perfect, and we were always wishing for things to be better than, also, as we are now. So as time goes on, we evolve, and some things change for the better, some things change to bring in new challenges, and all of that is part of our human evolutionary process, the evolution in our personal lives, the evolution of society, the evolution of cultures. And so with this Capricorn energy, we are thinking about our heritage, our traditions, where we come from, who has made the path, who has created the path that we are walking on now. And so in a positive light, it's really a good time to honor some of those way makers and figures from history who have truly paved the way for us to be able to live in ways that are better now than they were before, maybe with more freedom and less oppression in various ways. And then, of course, we also are, so we're in the present moment. We are honoring the past. We are thinking about our traditions, about our roots, about where we come from, and the legacies that have been handed to us, right? Some are very positive, and some are still needing some healing, and still some of those traumas of the past, from generations past, are still being work for us to do to continue that evolutionary process. And so we're healing within ourselves. We're healing traumas from the past, traumas from previous generations, traumas that were handed to us from our parents or family or somewhere else, that become then part of the work that we have to do. So it's really kind of a time of honoring and recognizing our place in this bigger evolutionary process. recognizing too that we are the past of the future, right? So what are generations who are coming after us going to, are they going to look back at us and with gratitude and reverence, or are they going to look back at us and say, I wish they had done this work when they had the chance? So thinking about that too, and even as we think about the future, how can we live our lives in such a way that we are making things better for future generations, and how can we honor our place in the bigger evolutionary process by continuing to look at and engage with the healing work that is there for us to do, without letting, we also need to enjoy life. So without letting that consume all of our energy, because there's a time and a place to address the pain and the healing work. And there's a time and a place also to experience the freedom and the breakthroughs that we are creating for ourselves. So Capricorn energy is also, as I've talked about many times, is about structures. It's about systems and planning and laying foundations for the future. So even as we're honoring the legacies of the past, honoring those who have gone before us, we're also laying the foundations of the future that we want to live and create. So how does who you are now in this present time and place, how do you want to take your intentions and affirmations as a way of planting those seeds for the future, for moving forward, and create those foundations and make a plan and create a structure for yourself that support you, that will help you to be in your highest possibilities and to have the energy that you need to continue whatever the work is that you are doing, the healing work, the creative work, the work of change, the work of stepping into more greater possibilities. So thinking about that right now, we are laying the foundations of the future, and to do that purposefully and intentionally, with a sense of reverence, with a sense of responsibility. But that doesn't mean we have to be not having fun. It can also be fun and an affirmation of life and of joy, as we are now past the winter solstice and the days are going to start to get longer and longer. And so we can affirm that future ahead of greater productivity, greater creative energy, greater flow, and open to the expansiveness of possibilities that lie ahead. So hopefully that gives you some food for thought, and I would love to hear in the comments where you're at, what you think about your own legacy and how you're laying foundations for the future, and just how we can all support each other in being part of this bigger evolutionary process, and that we're doing it together, right? No one is alone in this work. So, but we each have our piece of it. We each have our individual contributions, gifts, and needs. And so you get to be who you are in this process and do it your way. Thank you so much for being here. Happy holidays. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, it's right there. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate you being here and sharing these videos with a friend if you are interested and think someone you know might enjoy them also. I really appreciate you helping me get the word out there. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.